Hello everyone, and welcome to my BNB24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Will visits Luna after learning of her assault, and Remy reminds Deke not to mention him on his first day at Forrester. Luna expresses her concern for her infant to the physician. Steffy inquires about the presence of a new male in her mother's life, and Deke experiences his inaugural day at Forrester. Following Bill's declaration that she would languish in prison and never be able to see the child, Luna incited her cellmate to assault her. Luna's cellmate admires her swollen visage while she is incarcerated. She proposes to further batter her. Luna maintains that it is acceptable. Enough has been accomplished by her. Dr. Tavares promptly arrives and informs Luna that her condition extends beyond mere bruises. Luna informs her that she is expectant. She must be released from incarceration in order to safeguard her infant, as the other women harbor animosity toward her. The doctor examines her eye and reports that it appears to be in poor condition. However, there is no permanent injury. Luna reiterates that she and the infant are in peril. Remy expresses his admiration for Deke at their residence, but he requests that he refrain from mentioning him to any colleagues at the office. Deke is incapable of comprehending. Remy asserts that events transpired in the past. Deke is under the impression that the situation cannot be as severe as it appears. Remy encourages him to focus on his task and refrain from worrying about him. He instructs him to proceed and demonstrate extraordinary qualities. Will assures Electra in the design office that his father will not permit anyone to remove Luna. They are optimistic that Luna will not be able to persuade anyone that she is a victim. She asserts that they will not permit Luna to intervene in their relationship, and they kiss. He suggests that they escape from the extreme disorder. During the conversation, Dr. Tavares discloses that Luna was subjected to an assault. He inquires as to whether the infant was unharmed. She instructs him to visit Luna independently. Luna exhibits a grimace. He provides Electra with the information, and she advises him not to disregard the doctor. Will departs, and Deke ventures into the room. She claims that everyone believes he possesses sound sensibilities. He is enthusiastic about demonstrating his capabilities. They discuss Amethyst while admiring her new bangles. She is experiencing difficulty concentrating on her task due to her inability to dispel her thoughts of Luna. Luna is overjoyed when Will arrives at the penitentiary. She continues to be despised by the females in the cell block. He arrived solely to monitor the infant. This does not alter the situation. She maintains that her primary concern is the baby and, while rubbing her abdomen, expresses her elation that the infant can hear his voice. Luna continues to express gratitude for his presence as he fidgets. At Il Giardino, Sheila implores Deacon to return home so that they may resolve the matter constructively. "I am truly missing you, Daddy," she expresses. She is certain that she has undergone a transformation and that the lying and conniving ceased when she fell in love with him. He must arrive at his appointment with Taylor. Sheila asserts that she is pleased that he is now consulting with her on a professional level. It serves as the initial measure to reunite him with her. Sheila is aware that she and the psychiatrist have a complex history. However, she remains optimistic that the physician will be able to assist in the restoration of their relationship. She experiences a flashback to dancing with Deacon and becomes choked up after he departs. She must take a deep breath as she recalls the doctor hugging her spouse. She aspires to assist him in returning to her birthplace. Steffy is being hugged by Taylor in the office. Steffy stated that Europe was enjoyable, however, she found it difficult to be separated from her family. She further states that it is appalling that Ridge returned to Brooke. Her mother acknowledges that it was challenging, however, she is now progressing. Steffy admires her, but she asserts that it is permissible for her to experience anger as a result of being taken by surprise. Her mother guarantees that she will maximize her existence. Steffy is compelled to contemplate whether she is involved with an additional individual. Taylor's affection for Ridge will endure indefinitely. She was certain that they had finally resolved the matter. Right now, she is not in a relationship or contemplating it. Steffy instructs her to relocate Luna to the past. Her mother is resolute in her commitment to her occupation. She embraces Steffy in order to enable her to resume her duties. Deke arrives after Steffy departs, and his physician informs him that Sheila visited him subsequent to their most recent appointment. She asserts that his wife's affection for her is undeniable. However, does he believe that they have a future? Deke drew ever closer to discovering the terrible truth about Remy as a Luna-conned Will in Black and Blue. Will and Electra were at Forrester when the episode commenced, recapping Bill's visit to Luna, which was unnecessary given that Soaps.com had already done so yesterday. Observe? However, even Will was weary of discussing Luna. Is there no weather for these children to discuss? Have you recently watched any noteworthy films? Remy kept Deke in the dark. The new designer of Forrester modeled some old man chic that he intended to wear on his first day of work at the dismal apartment of Deke and Remy. Remy reminded his partner, "It would be more appropriate if you refrained from mentioning me at the office." Insufficient? Remy acknowledged that something had occurred in the past, but he refrained from stating, "Well, if you must know, I created fake nudes of Electra Forrester." Deke reassured his wife, "You are free to share any information with me." However, could Remy? Was he truly capable of doing so? It appears that Deke neglected to recall the extent of his distress at the notion that Remy and Luna were acquaintances. Consider his response to discovering that his companion had harassed his new professional colleague. In any case, Remy forbade Deke from entering the building rather than engaging in a conversation, as if his tardiness would result in repercussions for Hope's brother. The prison doctor was snowed by Luna. Luna took pride in her battered appearance while incarcerated and assured her cellmate that she would not share any information. She did not, either. Luna wept when the prison doctor arrived, stating that the women on the cell block harbored animosity toward her and that she needed to be released for the sake of her pregnancy. Hold on, what is this? Is Electra also pregnant? The doctor contacted Will after Luna's examination and recommended that he meet with the expectant mother in person. To determine precisely what? It goes without saying that Will did not inform the doctor, "Look, I am not baking a file and a cake for the psycho who raped me." Sheila groveled to the deacon. Sheila nagged Deacon at Il Giardino to get through this together and return home. "I am truly missing you, Daddy," she expressed. "And does that ever fail to frighten us all?" Deacon rejected his wife without hesitation. However, he continued to allow her to perpetuate the myth that the lying and the scheming ceased the day I married you. With the exception of the subsequent deception and fabrication. Additional information: the initial photographs of the newborn of the main actress of Bold and Beautiful. Despite the fact that she had previously killed the shrink and had slain most of her relatives, Sheila maintained that she did not object to Deacon seeing Taylor. She believed that it was a step toward reuniting him with his family. If only Los Angeles were not such a diminutive city. Steffy suspected that her mother had a new partner. Taylor and Steffy revisited the shrink's resolve to transition from human Waffle Ridge at her office. "Is there an additional man in your life?" Steffy inquired when her mother declared her intention to maximize her existence. As if that were the sole method by which Taylor could progress. Additionally, the following is a comprehensive list of the Emmys that were not aired. Despite the fact that the psychiatrist informed her daughter that she was not in a romantic relationship, it was evident to all of us that she was becoming increasingly intimate with Deacon, which was not a therapeutic experience. Sheila also suspected this. The physician disclosed that she had visited Taylor subsequent to her husband's most recent appointment. Luna obtained precisely what she desired. As the episode approached its conclusion, Deacon expressed his astonishment that Sheila had visited Taylor. Taylor then inquired as to whether he believed that he and his wife still had a future together. At Forrester Creations, Electra reassured Deke that he should not be apprehensive and was considerate enough not to photograph the sweater that he had likely borrowed from someone's grandfather. In no time, the conversation shifted to Luna, as it always does. Will eventually arrived to visit Luna, who characterized the prison as dreadful, as if anyone would anticipate it to be opulent or pleasant. She wept, "I am experiencing an immense amount of stress, and this is not conducive to the safety of our child. Will appeared to be either nauseated or succumbing to her nonsense. It was difficult to determine which. I and the bold and the beautiful. The repercussions of Luna Nozawa's imprisonment persist in Los Angeles, entwining the lives of the Forresters, Spencers, and even the most peripheral actors in the fashion industry in a web of deceit, guilt, and forbidden connections. As the episode progresses, Luna is discovered in her prison cell, her visage a haunting reminder of both the brutal environment she has immersed herself in and the self-inflicted manipulation she has suffered. She is battered and bruised. As Luna's cellmate smirks in approval of her work, the camera lingers on the dim fluorescent lighting, which flickers over her distended eye. Luna rests on the side of her bunk, protectively clutching her stomach, and whispers to the unborn child that she is determined not to allow the world to destroy them both. Luna's plan appears to have succeeded in attracting attention after she orchestrated her own assault in order to gain sympathy, and potentially a transfer to the prison infirmary or an early release. However, at what emotional and physical cost? Dr. Tabara's visage is a blend of professional concern and weary skepticism as she enters the scene with a clipboard in hand. She requests that Luna remove her hand from her face in order to inspect the injury. Luna consents, her eye becoming purple and swollen. The doctor mutters, "It's more than a bruise," while taking notes. However, Luna's trembling voice interrupts, and she abruptly discloses that she is expectant. The doctor glances up abruptly, stunned, as he realizes that this revelation will have a far-reaching impact that extends beyond the sterile confines of the correctional facility. Luna is adamant that she is in peril, that the other inmates harbor animosity toward her, and that she is unable to safeguard her infant in this location. "They want to harm me because of who I was, because of what happened with Will Spencer," Luna pleads. The doctor closely examines her, attempting to ascertain whether this is the truth or another layer of duplicity from a woman renowned for her deceptive streak. The cellmate smirks once more from the background, evidently relishing the drama. He even offers with a dark sense of amusement, "Would you like me to further injure you? Is it truly going to be sold the next time?" Luna's lip quivers, she declines. She whispers, "You have accomplished enough," her words tinged with a combination of calculated restraint and regret. Across town, Remy and Deke prepare for Deke's first day at Forrester Creations in the comfort of their modest apartment, which is intended to be a fresh start. However, beneath the optimistic domestic scene, there is an undercurrent of dread and secrecy. Ever evasive, Remy stands at the sink, washing a mug with his back to Deke. His voice is soft yet insistent as he reminds his companion not to mention him at the office. "Do not bring me up," he states with a stern expression. Deke's typically optimistic demeanor is obscured by perplexity as he furrows his brow. "It is preferable that our connections remain unknown." "Why?" He pressures. "You did not commit any infractions, did you?" Remy does not respond explicitly, only muttering that things happened in the past, which could potentially complicate Deke's position at Forrester. "It can't be that bad," Deke asserts, donning a cardigan that appears to have been borrowed from an elderly relative. Despite his efforts to maintain composure, he is evidently unsettled by his partner's evasiveness. Eventually, Remy turns, dries his hands, and tries to express a smile. "Please, have faith in me. Please concentrate on your task. Be extraordinary. I am proud of you." His voice is tinged with anxiety, despite its tenderness. The camera remains fixed on Remy's face as Deke departs, capturing his clenched jaw and his eyes as they flit to an antiquated laptop placed on the counter. An email draft with the subject line, "I'm sorry for the photos," is unsent on the screen and is addressed to Electra Forrester. The implication is chilling. Remy was responsible for the creation and distribution of fake, scandalous images that nearly destroyed Electra's reputation. Now, with Deke entering her orbit at Forrester, his secret could erupt at any moment. The morning at Forrester Creations is characterized by the hum of new designs, whispered gossip, and emotional tension. In the design office, Will Spencer and Electra Forrester share a quiet moment, the air being thick with both passion and apprehension. They converse in whispers about Luna and Bill's harsh words at the prison, where he vowed that Luna would rot behind bars and never see that baby. Will, attempting to conceal the torment beneath his calm exterior, informs Electra that his father is correct. He is adamant that Luna is dangerous, and he will not allow her to use the baby to escape prison or to cause a rift between them. Electra nods in agreement and tenderly touches his hand. Luna's ghost continues to haunt her thoughts, not out of affection but out of dread. She is visibly torn. Electra speaks gently, she has not yet completed the task. They kiss, eager to reaffirm their connection, but the moment is shattered when Will's phone calls. She'll find a way to make us pay. It is Dr. Tavares, and her demeanor is both clinical and urgent. She informs him that Luna was assaulted while in detention. Will's hand contracts around the phone as the doctor explains, she has been injured and is expecting. Is the infant in good health? He inquires, his voice quivering slightly, despite his assertion that he is indifferent. The doctor hesitates before responding, you should visit her personally. The call concludes, and the tension in the room intensifies. His facial expressions are immediately recognized by Electra. She states emphatically, you are not permitted to attend. Will's conscience gnaws at him, but he cannot continue to allow her to draw him back in. I simply need to ensure that the baby is in good health, he mumbles. Although Electra exhales in exasperation, she recognizes that argumentation is futile. She instructs him to perform his duties before silently withdrawing, fearing that Luna's manipulation will reopen wounds that have not yet completely healed. In the interim, Deke arrives at Forrester for his initial day. Mannequins adorned with cutting-edge couture line the hallway, and the sleek corridors gleam under brilliant lighting. Electra, the consummate professional, extends a cordial welcome to him. She gestures toward a stand of fabric samples and states, everyone is discussing your designs. Deke is both apprehensive and flattered as she blushes. They form a connection over amethyst jewelry, she is sporting new bracelets that reflect the light, and he remarks on the stone's symbolism, which includes protection, clarity, and healing. She replies wistfully, I could use all three, and the remark is met with an unexpected poignancy. She is unable to escape the image of the woman who once terrorized her as her mind wanders to Luna again as they work. She is unable to concentrate, causing her sketches to blur and her pencil to waver. She quietly confesses, I simply cannot stop thinking about her. Deke, who is unaware of his partner's involvement in her anguish, nods sympathetically, advising her to concentrate on the future rather than the past. Luna is feigning vulnerability as she lies on the bed in the prison infirmary, but her eyes light up with manipulative gratification when Will appears at the door. The women in the cell block are incensed by the attention she is receiving, and they are muttering slurs and insults as they glare through the bars. Luna's voice trembles as she whispers, you arrived. I was under the impression that you would not. Will's posture is defensive, as he crosses his arms. I merely arrived to monitor the infant, he clarifies. Luna agrees and touches her swollen belly, smiling faintly. Do not interpret this in any way. The baby is the sole concern. You are aware that he is capable of hearing your voice. Will glances away, his feelings of discomfort evident. Luna, cease. However, she persists in her manipulative behavior, repeatedly expressing gratitude for his presence and compassion. The camera focuses on her face, which is a combination of cunning and innocence, as her fingertips brush against his hand. He does not withdraw for a brief moment, but then reality forces its way back in. You made your decisions, he says, taking a step back. And I created mine. He departs, and Luna's countenance becomes stern. She murmurs to herself, I will devise an escape plan. You will observe. In a distinct location, Illinois Giardino, the drama undergoes an emotional transformation. Sheila Carter occupies a corner table, her once intimidating demeanor now a combination of regret and desperation. Upon Deacon's arrival, her countenance becomes as delighted as that of a lost child upon reuniting with her father. I am truly missing you, Daddy, she says with a trembling smile. The words linger in the air, as they always do, causing unease. The Deacon is divided between frustration and pity, as evidenced by his sigh. Sheila, I am unable to complete this task. Not at this time. Nevertheless, Sheila persists, her voice brimming with emotion. She is adamant that she has undergone a transformation. The irony is not lost on the audience. Sheila's concept of change has always been relative. The lying, the scheming, it all stopped when I fell in love with you. Deke attempts to maintain his composure by shaking his head, however.